Hey everybody, what is going on? So what I thought I would do today is just jump on and do a live stream. This live stream is probably going to be, as Dana would say, a complete train wreck. It's just me on here, and what I thought I would do today is um, go into the Stan Store template, which is what we're looking at here. This is a template that, if you watch the video that came out just today, the August 16th, it is going over a new template that we set up that allows you to have the same format as StanStore. A template. A lot of people had a client that said, "Hey, I've got." I'm following this person on Instagram, and she's this digital marketer, and she's got a stand store. Should I get a stand store? And I thought about it. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it costs money. And I went and I did some research, and yeah, it's $29 a month. And I'm like, she's already got System.io. And yeah, there's a lot of people on System.io that do have Stand Store as well. But why? You can do anything you can do with Stand Store, you can do on System.io, and that's part of this live stream. Is gonna, number one, gonna go through, and I should hit recording. So what we're using right now on the back end here, Dana and I have started using OBS, and OBS is a free open source software. OBS stands for Open Broadcast Software, I believe. Um, and it just allows you to have a little bit more control over things like, if I want to, I can go and give you my webcam only. So right now it's just my webcam. So got to remember, I've got two different webcams here. This is my Elgato, which I love so much. I'm being facetious. All right. um so I'm using OBS, got the recording going now, and the reason I'm using the recording is because I'm going to actually split this video up and use it also as a part of the toolbox, the directions on how to edit this stand store clone that we have, or a stand store like template that you can get through the Zero to Income toolbox. So I just thought, let's just do a live stream, because this really is going to be something that's going to be longer. And I don't know if all live streams should just be short. I know there's a lot of people that their live streams are an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3, 4 hours long. Some of the people out there that are doing live streams. So I just figure if I'm going to be sitting here working on this, and it's going to probably take some work, why not just pop on and do a live? So going to have a lot of things going all over the place. Okay. And of course, just me today. Dana is working today with his real job, and probably he might pop into the comments if he sees this. But for now, it's just going to be me, and we're going to keep the train wreckedness down as much as we can while we're doing this. Um, but this is a Stand Store like template. If you pull up Stand Store and look at it, um, they're all going to be very, very similar to this, and we'll look at that. And this template you can get in the Zero to Income toolbox, and I'll make sure that it's in the description. It's not in the description now. I didn't even think about it, but I will make sure that that link is in the description down below, so that you can sign up for this toolbox. And here's what this toolbox looks like here. If you go in here, I've got an intro to the toolbox. We've got some custom code snippets in the toolbox. So System.io doesn't have an auto-scrolling image carousel. It's one of those things where you have to click on the button to go from image to image. So I've got one here that you can use that'll just automatically scroll your images. Same thing, testimonials. If you want to have a testimonial and you want it to scroll from one testimonial to the next across the screen, we've got that. Um, so these are just all the different code snippets. And as I'm talking about this, I told you it was going to be a train wreck. I still have, um, let's pop this back over. I still have my camera showing instead of the desktop showing. So I told you it was going to be a train wreck. So let's back up a little bit. All right. Um, this is the stand store like template that's on System.io right now. Okay. And again, we'll go and compare this to an actual stand store page. Um, but this is on System.io, and you can get this in our toolbox. And I was just talking about all the different code snippets. When you go into the toolbox, you can get sign up for it again down below. You have these custom code snippets. Another thing that System.io doesn't have, they have a 4 column row, They have a 3-column row, 1 column, 2 column. They don't have a 5 column. So, and this might come into play if you have, if we go back and look at this right here, if you have more than one or more than 4 social buttons that you want to put down here. This is where, if it's more than 4, you're going to need that 5-column row. All right. So that might come into play when you're doing your editing. Um, so we got a lot of different options, a lot of different little code snippets here. But to get to this Stan Store template, we go over here and you can go and click on grab my free Stan Store clone. And I'm going to right click and I'm going to do a copy link address. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just completely exit out of that. We don't need it anymore. Probably could leave this open too, but we won't. What we'll do is we're going to pull this open over. This is another profile that I have specifically for the odds and ends. You'll notice I've got different Chrome profiles. So this is one Chrome profile here, and then this is a completely different Chrome profile. I can have system.io open with one account in this profile and open up in another account on this profile, and it's like they're on different computers. Okay, so they're not going to get confused. So we're going to go ahead and just paste this in. Now, when you click on that button, if you don't have system.io yet, it's going to prompt you to sign up and get a system.io account. If you do and you're not logged in, it'll prompt you to log in. I should be logged in. And what it's going to do is it's just going to load. See, I'm logged in. It's just going to load that template into your system.io account. And if you look at this right now, when I go to my funnel list, this is it. This is the Zero2Income Stan Store template. Now, when you open this template up, I'm going to back up here because, again, I'm recording this and I'm going to split this up and use it for directions. So I'm kind of thinking now, where should I put the split? Because I've already kind of walked through part of the template already, kind of an introduction, if you will, even for that thing. But that's okay. We're just gonna, we're just gonna keep rolling. We're gonna keep rolling. Let's let the train wreck happen. All right. Um, and I don't think I need. Let's pop this open. And I don't know if I've got chat popping up here at all. No viewers, which is fine. Don't expect anybody to be viewing this while I'm doing this, by the way. So this is just going to be doing it live. It'll be on there for everybody to watch from here on out. Now, we've installed the free Zero2Income Stan Store template as my voice goes up an octave or 2 or 3. And if you click into it, I've got 2 different templates you can use here, all in the same funnel. We have a double column, and what you'll find, which is what we were looking at, that double column, and we're going to do a view funnel step, is what you typically will see with Stan Store. Now, what we're going to do here is I'm going to go into Google and I'm going to do site, and this works great for Stan Store because Stan Store pages always start with stan.store, then / whatever your user account is or whatever your username is. So this method of looking for Stan Store sites is a great method. So we're going to do site : no space at all. Okay, nose is itching. Stan.store. And what this is going to do is going to pull up all the different pages on Stan Store. All right. And so if we go down here, right here, this is somebody's Stan Store. So if somebody's watching this and let's just go to, I don't know, I'm going to go to page 9. I'm just randomly doing this. All right, let's just pull up this first one, and I'm gonna open up the new tab. Let's see what this person's looks like. Okay, so they got their freebies, and again, everything's on the left there, just like we have back over here, left, and then you're gonna find the majority of Stan Store. And I don't know if it's a limitation where it has to be this format where you have um, username, user information. They only have their TikTok and Instagram here, and then all their stuff that they share. All right. Um, because I haven't seen a single column yet. Let's go back. Introverted, gone, faceless. Interesting. Let's open up that one. Okay. So again, they've got two columns is what this is, two columns. And then they broke up another column into two columns. And again, I want to make it very, very clear that anything, anything that you see in Stan Store, you're going to be able to do in system. And from what I've seen in Stan Store, let's go back and take a look here. I don't know if you can even get as fancy as you can with system. I haven't seen buttons yet that have any kind of animation. Where if we go to ours, look at that, our button actually moves a little, and that's built in the system. You can do that's just one of the things. I think there's three different types of animation you can do with buttons in system. So that's kind of cool, right? Um, and I don't know if you can actually use custom code snippets in Stan. Maybe, I don't know. Now, again, for the $29, there's a lot more to Stan Store than just this page. But my one client was just like, "Oh, do I need a page like that?" It's like you can create a page like that. But yeah, for $29 a month, Stan Store is going to give you things like courses, I believe. Let's just go and look real quick. Uh, they make it hard to like find pricing and things like that. The other thing you're going to see is they always all have this too, and that's kind of annoying. You don't necessarily have to have that if you're paying. If you're paying for, which this is a paid, Stan Store doesn't have a free version. Um, with System.io, if you're paying for it, you can make the System.io branding go away. All right, you can on the free, but you can on the paid. Um, but if we go down here and look, and again, they make it really, really hard to see what, not just, there we are, right there it is right there, $29 a month. So mobile optimized, and I'll admit, their two column mobile is pretty dialed in for mobile. Systems is not bad, but you definitely have to keep that in mind with system as when you're creating it to make sure that it's mobile optimized. Um, but uh, the calendar, and they have a Google Calendar here, which makes me think they said $15, but that just makes me think like they're just pulling in a, what's the word I'm looking for, an embed, but it could be that they actually have a calendar that is involved. Um, for our intents and purposes, you can use Setmore, which is completely free. All right. Um, you can, and Setmore allows you to have 5 users. So Setmore is a pretty robust calendar app, and you can pull that in. Course Builder replaces Kajabi. Well, um, guess what, folks? System and their free version has a course, and that could replace a Stan Store. Okay, audience analytics. I have no idea what all's in their audience analytics. System.io does have audience analytics, and um, I don't know how robust they are side by side to compare apples to apples. But that might be another, I guess, another potential reason to go to Stan Store if they just have great analytics. But for people that are just starting out and want to keep their costs down, again, free version of System.io is going to allow you to do a lot of what this $29 a month Stan Store does. Okay, email newsletter builder. Say that 10 times fast, huh? An email newsletter builder. System.io has that. Free version has that. 2,000 contacts. Okay. I don't know about you, but when I'm starting a new business, it's going to take me a while to get to 2,000 contacts. So that's for the free version. Um, and if you decide to pay for System, the paid version of Next Step Up is like $19 a month. All right. Um, and it's still cheaper than Stan Store at $29 a month. Social media template library. All right. Um, I don't think System has the equivalent of that, but to me, I'm just like, whatever. Do I really want to pay $29 a month just to have that? That's what Pixabay is for. That's what all the other different image sites are for. Um, Creator community access. System has a community creator. It's not a community, but it has an affiliate place that you can go and sell your stuff. So this here, again, maybe you really want to be part of that. I don't think that's a big deal. And then coaching strategy, yeah, okay, whatever. Long story short, system is going to be able to do this, and the free version of system is going to be able to do a lot of this already. All right. So I'm going to go out of that. So as we look at these different stand stores, and again, let's go, they're almost all have that side by side. I don't think I've seen anything yet, excuse me, that is um, single stacked. Everything's side by side. Okay. And let's go back over here and I'll show you what I'm talking about as far as single column. Go over here. We'll do, make sure I've got the same thing on here, view funnel step. And there it is, just a single. Okay. What I like about the single as far as using that on the system, and I think it might even, I mean, again, stand stores is really, really responsive. System, it kind of breaks down a little bit. It's not something that's like hardcore. Um, I looked at it on my phone. It was fine. I looked at it on my iPad. It was fine. Here, I'm going to open up my Reflector app for everybody, and we'll get my iPad logged in, and I'll show you what it's looking like on my iPad. Because it does. You can go in here and you can do an inspect and kind of look at what is this thing going to look like when you do an inspect. Right now, this is the iPhone XR. Um, but the question is this really showing what it's going to look like? Um, I think it's going to bring it a pretty good, a pretty good idea. And I think we won't worry about that. But if we go to iPad Mini right here, and let's pop this up to 100%, that is what it looks like on my iPad Mini. So um, we're okay there. Let's go over to Nest Hub and just look. And this is a single stack. I don't suspect, single stack's going to look fine. Let's go over to the double column. And let's do the same thing. We're going to right click and we're going to do an inspect. And right now the Nest Hub, again, not terrible. Boxes get different sizes. I like to have all my boxes the same size, but again, even on Stand Store, boxes you'll find are different sizes. This person was pretty good about keeping theirs all the same size. Um, kind of looking, I saw somebody's who had different size boxes. It just really depends on how much you're putting in, and the boxes expand with content. Let's go over here. It's like this box I can tell right now is a little bigger than this one. Um, so anyway, if we go in here and that's the Nest Hub, then we go to our iPad Mini, that's fine. Again, let's do 100%. And I think with this double stack, let's go to iPad Air. That's where things get kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Squished. If we do 100%, still not terrible. You can scroll here on it, but I'd rather not have to scroll. Um, Boxes got a little bit longer, and so that's where I kind of like the idea of using this single column. It just is going to, let's go to an iPad on the single column. See what I'm saying? It's just single column. I think just is going to be a lot more mobile friendly. It's not going to be exactly, excuse me, exactly like the stand store in that case, because all stand stores have the user on the right, name, and all of their, what's the word I'm looking for, social buttons underneath that. But I kind of like this better myself. So anyway, that being said, once you have this funnel and you've got it in your templates, you want to be able to get in here and make it your own. And so the whole purpose of this was to get in here and make it your own. Okay. So let's go in and let's make this our own. You go in here and let's, I'm going to stick with the single column, folks. I like the single column. We'll leave these open to go back and show you what we can do. Um, we're going to go in and we're going to edit page. Now, if you aren't a really well versed in system yet, I'm going to slow down, and this might be a lot of review for some folks, and you're going to be like, come on, just move forward. But in case you're brand new to system.io and um, not really sure about using the editor, I am going to slow down and make sure that I walk through everything. So with all of these, it's a term that I don't hear much though, but it was what you see is what you get editors, WYSIWYG editors. Um, they are now these days are made into sections and columns and rows, and depending on the platform that you're using, you'll go in there and you can do certain things to a section, do certain things to a row, and then all this other stuff here are elements. Okay, and so I'm bringing that up right now because the whole point of making this your own is you might not like this tan. So you go into the section, and if you look, what I'm talking about here is top left hand corner here is the green section there. Okay, and you'll notice over here on the right, if I wanted to, I can configure it that way. And what you saw on the left, all of the settings that I can tweak for this section came up when I clicked on that gear icon. If I wanted to go and come on, get it back in there, duplicate it, I could click on this icon right here to the right of the cog, and I could duplicate it. If I wanted to save it, I could save it and use it in another um, funnel. I can click on the save button, okay, or I could trash it. So also another way of getting to the gear icon or getting to the settings is just to click into it. And you'll see that now we've got margin settings came up. And the main reason that I wanted to bring this up is to show you this is where you go to change your background color. Okay, we just made it gray. If you want to make it something special, you can go up here, and if you have a specific hex code, you can go in here and put your hex code in. We can go and make it kind of an orange. I'm not liking that orange with what we've got so far. Let's go back down here, kind of toward a grayish kind of deal. Something's gonna pop a little bit with that red that we've got. Okay. Um, yeah, I'm gonna actually just go back to this one. Call that good. Okay. So we've made the background gray. All right. Um, if you wanted to put an image back here, you could. Um, I'm not sure yet, and that's what the inner background would do if you wanted to play around with that. Um, I'm going to take that off. Come on, click out of it, click back in, and I'm going to take that off. The other thing that I want you to keep in mind with design elements when you're in your system account, and that is when you're in a section and you go in here, sometimes you'll say, wow, that image is really, really big, or these columns are really, really big. Um, go into the content width for your section, and you can do full page. And I'm going to show you're going to see right now what I mean by that. Boom, just made it really, really big. I mean, it's just it's wide. They call it wide, right? I think that's what they called it, or full page. So I'm going to click into it again. Click into the section again. It's full page. So now we're going to go to wide. And I've heard that wide is the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Mobile friendly. But when you're doing a single column like this one is, it's going to be fine. Uh, Things like mobile and responsiveness really come into play when you have multiple columns. So in this case, you can make it whatever you want. But there's the wide, and then click into it again, scroll down, you can make it medium, and notice how our boxes got squished and a little bit fatter, a little bit taller. Watch when we make this small, they got even smaller, nose itching, and then extra small. Okay. Um, I stick to wide or medium. I'm going to stick to medium here. All right. So just something to kind of keep in mind when you're designing, and it's like, man, that picture is just really, really big, and check out the section settings, and that'll do a lot for you. All right. Um, Now we have different sections up here. We have a start here. Put whatever you want in here. All right. So if we go and look at some of these other people's stuff, they've got this person has what are the chances of this person watching this right now? But anyway, freebies. So they have a freebie, and that's what I did up here. If we go back to our editor, I've got the very first thing is to grab the toolboxes. Grab the toolbox. If you click here, it should. I've got these also set to open in a new window. Click on that, and oh, we're not in view mode. I'm a dork. Let's go back over here. Gonna exit out of here, and if we click on this, it's opening up, and there's where you would sign up to get your free toolbox. And this is the link that's going to be in the description. All right. So we go back here. Um, so start here, toolbox, a course. If you have a course, again, you can put whatever you want in here. All right. And let's go back to this one here. Um, these people have pictures. You can do a picture here. All right. Let's go back over here to our editor. Now, the thing that part of the reason that this live is going to be as long as it is I really want to just walk everybody through all kind of the little tricks and what have you, to some of this stuff. What you'll see here, this image is an SVG. Okay, the reason that I'm using an SVG is, if I remember correctly, I'm not a super pro at all this stuff. I'm not a what's the word I'm looking for, a digital designer. I know that's not a graphic designer. I'm not a graphic designer. I know enough to be dangerous. And I know that, like with regular PNG files, as you get bigger and smaller, if you start off with a file that's a real high resolution, as you get bigger, it'll be okay. Um, but with an SVG file, it doesn't matter what size it is; it should always look good. All right. And so I really like using SVG files when I can. If I go over here right now, I can tell right now the tools that I'm using is a PNG, and that's because we definitely went in and did some custom stuff with this. When I say custom stuff, I wanted it to be the same color red all the way down for my YouTube icon, um, for all of my, what's the word I'm looking for, logos, and what have you. I wanted the same color. So these right here are actually PNGs. And again, I'll even open it up and show you. When I do um, work, you can do this, I think, in Canva if you have a paid version of Canva. I'm familiar with Photoshop, and I'm not going to pay the $25 a month for the full on Photoshop, but you can get Photoshop elements. It's like, I think it's a one-time purchase of like $99. And then if you, once you've paid the $99, if you want to get updated ones when it comes out each year, it's like $80 for the update. And so I'm actually going to get Photoshop elements and video elements. I think it's called Premiere Elements. And I think I can get them both for like 99 bucks. And you can do a lot with Premiere, which is the video editor, um, which is the elements thing. So if you have a paid version of Canva, you should be able to get in there and do stuff. But again, this might be a little over the head of some folks if you don't have Photoshop elements, but I'll show you how I would get in here and change this type of stuff here. So let's go over and open up Photoshop elements. It's going to, and I'll show you. Oh, it's not. I was expecting it to say update now. So this is back from like 2015, and I haven't had to update, and that's what I like. I want a one-time purchase, and it's mine. If I decide I want to update in a year, I can update in a year. If I decide I don't want to update in a year, I don't have to, and I don't like having to pay um, for all of these different tools every single month if I don't have to. If I've got something that's good enough that I can pay for once and have it last for years, then that's all I'm going to use. And as you can tell, I've not had to update this since 2015. All right. We're going to go into the editor. Yeah, it opened up in my other window. And what I'm going to do is go and open up. That's videos. Let's go over here. And y'all don't need to see all my crazy files. Um, let's go into my files and web assets for projects. I'm pretty sure. Nope, that's not where it's at. Okay. So I'm in my website icons for YouTube and what have you. And here we've got some stuff. So let's work on the tools first. All right. I'm going to pull this, literally just going to pull this into There it is. All right. Now, again, if this was an SVG file, this would look lot better, a lot better. Um, but for what we're doing here, and again, with the different screen sizes and stuff that we're working on, it's not a big deal. It's just the best practice would be an SVG file. In this case, PNG, it is what it is. Sometimes you just gotta, say, hey, that's enough. So I'm going to move this over here for now, and I'm going to move this over here for now into the other window. And the question is, what color do we want to make all these icons? Let's go ahead and just make it match. Um, let's go ahead and make it match the brown here. It's the brown still not doesn't pop really on this gray, but again, I just want to kind of show you how I edit this when I'm editing things. So I'm going to use my uh, ColorZilla Chrome plugin. When I click on that, it allows me to go anywhere on the page. And if you'll notice, it says point sample, and then there's a gray square next to it, and it's got the RGB values, and it's got the hex code value. I can go down here and just click on the browns. So now the browns 209, 193, 178, and the hex code. If I just click on it, it's now copied everything to my clipboard. So I'm going to go back here, and I want to I'm switching this from the red because I use red all the time. I want to keep the red there, but I'm going to switch it and say, show me the blue. I'm going to click into the blue, and right in here, I can click and paste that brown hex code that I copied over. Going to do an OK. So with here, this is the magic wand tool. When I click on that, I can click over here on the red, and it's going to grab all of the red. Boom. And just to make sure, because you might have red somewhere else that's not touching, just to make sure, you can right click and do similar, and it'll grab anything that might have been missing. Now this is cool. The paint bucket tool, now I click on that, I go over here and I just click anywhere, and it changes the color. So I'm going to now deselect, okay, and now I'm going to save this as a tools tan, and that's fine. And it's going to be a PNG, and it's going into my web assets, so that's good. We're going to do save, and yep, that's fine. So it's going to be a PNG. Okay. So if this is yours and you just did it and you say, hey, I don't want this tools icon, so you would go over here, you would click on your icon, and then at this point you would go in and upload whatever picture you want. So some people had a picture like this, you could do that. And then you have a picture like this, you could do that. Okay. So we'll go over here and let's play with this. Go back over to our editor. I'm going to exit out of this. I don't want it there. So now it's just giving me the default photo icon there, right? All right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go in and say, all right, I want to upload a video or an image. Select the file. We're going to go back to that file that we just downloaded. Oh, that's right. It was in our, let's pull this over. Another trick. Go in here, do a Control A, copy it, go over here, paste, and it'll take me to that folder. And there's the one I'm looking for. Okay. And we're going to do an insert. And there it is. All right. Don't have any images right now in this particular file or in this particular account. But here, that's kind of big, right? And like I said, you can do anything that these people are doing, you can do in System.out. You can make stuff bigger. You can make it smaller. Okay. Go up here. Let's click on the image. And another trick, you might have gone all the way over to the right. It's like, oh, I can't go any bigger. It's stopped. Just go up here and use the arrows. It's actually not letting me. And that does happen every now and then. Okay. And that might be because the original image size was smaller, or yeah, it was smaller. This might be stopping because of the fact that we've already, what's the word I'm looking for, gone to the maximum size of this image. And we're going to test this out. All right. And you can put whatever you want here. All right. Let's go to Pixabay real quick. And it's going to go into here, stunning photography. Great. Okay. Let's just do a toolbox. Okay. And let's just see if we can find, I do kind of like these more portrait modes here. It really doesn't matter for what we're doing. But let's just go ahead and click on this one and download it. Sure. It's downloading it into my download files. We'll go back over here. And now what we're going to do is go back over here, click out of this, go into our files, click on upload. This time it's going to be in downloads. There it is. Open. It's a bigger file, I could tell. I could have grabbed the smaller one. Wasn't thinking about that. But anyway, insert. All right, now watch. Should go a lot bigger. We'll see. No, it's not. All right. More than likely, it's being controlled by the size. I told you earlier we were playing around with the sections. Watch. Let's see what happens when we go to the section. All right. We're in medium. We're going to go to wide. Now we'll go into this and see what I'm saying. Just little things to kind of keep in mind. So we've hit the maximum size we can do on wide. So let's go back into our section. All right. Check this out. Again, I don't normally like doing the full page, but if you go to full page and then click into it, same thing here. Again, it allowed us to go even bigger there. All right. So let's go back into our section and go back to wide. Okay. The other thing that could be going on here is the column width here. And it's really, really hard. You can adjust the sizes of columns when they're in there. So you've got a row with 2 columns. Okay, that's what we're looking at here. And the picture is kind of going over uh, the one side there. You can see, right? And then you have the other column that has the text. You'll see in the middle there, and if I move my mouse, the blue bounding boxes are going to go away. But you'll see that middle columns there, and you can drag it and make the sizes of each of the cells smaller or larger by dragging it. But it's hard to grab it sometimes. And so some other tricks that I do here when I'm trying to grab it. Okay, see, it went away. I'm trying to grab it, it went away. So one of the things that you can do, go up to the text, because what's happening is as we go up here, it's grabbing the image, or if I go over here, it keeps grabbing the image. So probably the best bet's going to be go into the image, and this is just a little trick that I just like. Why don't I do this? Just yesterday I figured this out. I'm going to hide it from desktop. Okay. Now I go back in and see, now it's not like grabbing that image when I go to try and resize it. So now what I want to do is drag that down. And system's kind of quirky because when you go to try and grab it, it almost looks like it's not going to let you, but it did. So now what I want to do is I've got to go over to mobile because I hid it from desktop, go to that image and see how it says mobile only. I'm going to click into it. And now I'm going to say show on desktop. And now I'll go back to desktop and the image will be there. All right. Now if I go into this image, let's see. See, it gave me a little bit more room to make that image a little bit bigger. So that's just another little trick there of let me make this column and see once again. It's like I'm trying to make that column bigger, but it doesn't let me. It keeps pulling up the image properties. No, I don't want the image. I want the column. I want to drag the column. So we'll go back in. It's kind of annoying, but when you're trying to get those columns adjusted, it is what it is. All right. So it's a workaround. Yes, it's annoying that you have to do it, but at least you can do what you want to do, right? So let's go again. We're going to hide it from desktop. We'll go in there. And then once again, make it like that. We're going to just make it even. Okay. Now we're going to go into our mobile version. And so here it screwed things up. Obviously, we wouldn't want to keep it that big because now on mobile, it doesn't look so good. It definitely screwed things up. Now, that being said, more tricks. All right, people, more tricks. If I was going to keep it this way, we go into this whole row. Okay, so we got a whole row and there are elements in it. We're going to scroll down here and we can disable vertically stacking rows on mobile devices. So let's just play with that and look at what it did. It it made it so the image is at the very top and then the text is below, and clean that up quite a bit. If I was going to keep this that way, and let's go over here and make this desktop again. Go over here, desktop. Um, if I really wanted that picture to be that big, that's what I would do. And let's go back over our desktop. And now there's our image. And then again, we go into the image and see how much bigger we can make this image now. We can really make it big if we wanted to. All right. Now, again, same thing here. They've got some nice rounded corners here. You can do that kind of stuff with system.io. Not a problem. Okay, we've got some rounded corners here, and then we can go over here and border radius. Okay, if you just want it just on the top, I haven't ever played with this, but there's the top left, there's the top right, and let's just kick this up to play with it. I don't know, let's just do 145. Same thing here. I'm going to actually type in 145. Okay, there. Can Stan Store do that? Well, actually, they can. They just kind of did it right there with that one. Um, yeah, that's what they did there. Looking to see if there's anything different. You can do, if you want a complete circle, you can do that. Okay, let's go back over, and then you would do, click on the image. Come on, go back down. Let's do 145 all the way around. And actually, the best way is just to click on this one here. It'll do all of them. Okay, so now what we want to do to make it a complete circle. It's not letting us make it a complete circle. It did at one point, and I'm not sure why. And it might be because we've made it bigger. Used to be that you could. Let's go over here, solid dash. We could do lines if we wanted to. Used to be that you could make this a whole circle. And I'm thinking it's because, once again, we've put it into a cell that's really, really big. So we're just playing with this stuff, everybody, and seeing what happens. Okay, let's go back over here. And now what we're going to do is see I can't make that cell smaller, so we're going to go into our image, right? Going to go over to desktop and hide it. Then we're going to go back over here, and let's just see what happens when we do that. Then we'll go back over here, mobile only. We'll go into that, and once again we'll pop it open on desktop, make it visible on desktop. Now we'll go over to desktop, and can we make it a circle? Yeah, it's still not letting us, which is very odd. Used to be that we could make this a circle, and I don't know why it's not. Maybe we need to do that. I learned something on our live stream. Can make this, image size also. Well, we were already playing with the image size. But evidently, now, that being said, if I was doing this for a client and or was just feeling like I want a circle no matter what, I would go. You can do some CSS styling in here. All right, and that's where you would just go and say, okay, I want to take this. I'm going to put a, and you could put the raw code. You could do this and do raw HTML right in here and just say, take this image here. We click into here. I'm just going to kind of explain in just layman terms. I'm not going to actually do the code, but basically what we'd be doing is saying this image here with this ID attribute. Okay, we click on that. We'd go into our code and we'd throw in some style. It'd be something like style, and then I believe it's something like #. Oh, that's interesting. It just took me all the way out. Um, I believe it's something like #, and then you'd put the attribute in there, and then you would say, make this a circle, and then you would save it, and it would take this and make it a circle for you. We're not going to mess with that right now, but that's what you would do. So let's go and play with this a little bit more. So we've got, you go in here, and again, they don't do anything with their buttons at all. They do have a calendar. You can do that. You can put in some embed code. All right. Um, I'm looking to see, do I have any embed code that I could get into and play with right now for a calendar? I don't think I have anything open. I didn't think about that before this call. Um, you know what? We're just, probably, if anybody does come in here, we had a couple of people pop in and pop out, but if anybody else does come in here, um, they're probably going to be like, this is boring. This is boring. Log in. I'm going to open this up in another window and log in. And that's fine. Okay. Wasn't sure if it was going to show my password and all that. So we don't want to show the whole world my passwords. All right. Let's do. I don't know what this is going to look like. So this is my Set More app, my Set More calendar. It has a share option, booking page. So that would be the booking page, which is kind of cool. Let's click on this. One of the things I like about Set More is it has this very, very cool booking page. And so the people say, hey, I want a 1 hour meeting. They go in there and there it is. Can I I was hoping to embed this. That would be kind of cool where they just go and click on that. But I was really looking to share this and do a view like this in there. And in this case, if I was going to share my Set More app, I would share this right here. And I would do something like, let's go straight down here, work with us. I'd like to hire you. And instead of this being an email, all right. So let's run with that also. All right. So right now I have this one here to be an email option. All right. So one of the other things that I dialed in yesterday and made sure that it worked is the option to take a button and put a what they call a mail to link. So you have HTTP links, and then a mail to link is one that you would use for email. Okay. So um, the way this is set up, I have it so that it opens up the email browser, and that mail to link is going to do that automatically. But I also have the subject line is also pre-populated, and I'm pretty sure I've got it pre-populated with "I'd like to hire you." We're going to click on it, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Oh, I got to go over to an actual page. Boom, we open that up. Yep, it's opening up my email. It's going to open up. There we go. See, from automatically, it's put in my one of my email addresses, and then right here, it's already got it populated. I'd like to hire you. Now, how is that done? Cancel. Exit out of this. Yeah, exit and exit. When you go into your button, let's click into the button code. It was already open. Right here, you do in the URL field. So we've got it saying on the button, we've got the option to open a URL. And then in the URL field, we've got mail to colon, and then the email address that you want it to go to. So it would be, um, if you're John Doe at mydomain.com, it would be mail to John Doe at mydomain.com. And then if you want the subject, this right here is where you put the subject. You put a question mark, and then after this question mark, you put subject equals. And then right here, the space here, let's open, I'm gonna highlight this whole thing, copy it. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to Notepad. Be a little bit easier to read this in Notepad. Open Notepad up. You can see, so I've got some transcript from one of the videos I was working on. We're going to pop that into Notepad. Okay. And can I make this bigger? Yeah, I can. Let's make this bigger so everybody can see what I'm working with here. So right here, this is where you would put your email address. All right. So change that button. When you're editing it, you want to change that to your email address. And then if you want to have a pre-populated subject. You don't have to. You can take this out, all this right here. I'm going to do a control X. You can take it out and that's going to work right there. It's going to open up their email and then they can type in the subject and then they can go ahead and send you whatever you want. I like to put in the subject because I can put in something like, I'd like to hire you, and you could say, reaching out from your free tools page, or hey, reaching out from the free course page, whatever. So you know exactly where this email came from. It's not just some random email. It's not somebody spamming you. You know it came from your website. Now, what this is doing here, these are codes that are throwing in there here. Oh, okay. I see what's going on. Apostrophe S. Okay. Um, I'm going through this right now, and folks, I didn't come up with this myself. There's no way I'm going to know this. Okay. How do I come up with this? All right. Let's just say that you want a mail to link, and I don't even remember this stuff. ChatGPT. All right. I'm not a coder, and my brain doesn't work to where I remember all this stuff. So we're gonna copy this. I'm not gonna even copy this whole thing. We're gonna go over to ChatGPT. Pop that open, chatgpt.com. I'm just going to stay logged out. I don't worry about it. I don't need, you can use ChatGPT without logging in. One of the things you got to remember if you do that though, is you're not going to have a history of all your chats. So for stuff like this, I don't care, but it is nice to be able to log in and have, what was that one thing I was working on? And you can go back in and it'll remember all the data that it was in there before. And so if you're working on a project and coming back to it the next day, that's why you'd want to have an actual sign in. In this case, it's not a big deal. So we're just going to go into ChatGPT and let me see if I can make this bigger. I can. So that, when people are watching here, we're going to say, hey, I would like help creating a mail to link for that sends an email to john.doe at mydomain.com, and I would like the subject to be hello from your homepage. Okay, cool. So what it did is it actually put it in the full HTML format. It's thinking you're going to put this into what's the word I'm looking for? An actual page that you're hard coding. You don't need all this. You don't need the ahref. All you need right here is right here. So normally you could do copy code, but it's going to grab it all. And so when you are popping that into your system.io account, it's going to get confused. So what you want to do is just pop it into Notepad if you want, or you can do what I was going to do and just let me see if no, we don't even need the quotes. Okay. And then you can copy that, or we go back over here and you just want everything in the quotes right up to there. Copy. Okay. Let's go back to our editor and here, I'm going to paste that in and I'm going to save it. We're going to click on the eyeball to preview it. Okay. Let's go in here and preview it. And let's go all the way down. Now, when I click on this, I'd like to hire you. You can even see down the lower left-hand corner, it says mail to John Doe at mydomain.com, subject, hello from your home page. Click on that. It's going to open up your email platform that you use for your email. It's going to open up an email as if you're getting ready to type it. And look at this, hello from your home page. Hey, what's up, knucklehead? Just wanted to say hi. Now, if I try and send this right now, because it's going to John Doe at mydomain.com, don't think it's going to go anywhere. We could try it just to, we could try it just to see, but I don't know if there is a John Doe at mydomain.com, highly doubt it. We wouldn't want to like call him a knucklehead. But anyway, there you go. We're going to go out of this. All right. So that's how you would do the mail to link. All right. Same thing here with like little icons if you really, really wanted them. I don't know how to do those icons. That's another ChatGPT thing. So, and you could just go in there and say, hey, I'm trying to create this and I'd like to have the fancy icons that you guys do, whatever. You can always tell when something's done by AI because they'll have icons all over the place. Um, so we got images if we wanted to. Um, the other thing that we had here is we could definitely set this up to where the image is always on top. Go back up here, trying to see what else we would want to do. The embed code, we had hire us. All right. We could totally go in here and we could change this to our Setmore app that we just had. Plastic toys. This is for, what's the word I'm looking for? Why am I drawing a blank? Why did it take us to Pexels too? It was supposed to be Pixabay. It's interesting. I ended up on Pexels. I'm wondering if I just while we were on the call, I don't know. I could go back and just see. Yeah, I was in Pixabay. For some reason, it took us to Pexels, but there it is, Pixabay. I was on Pexels. Interesting that I'm wondering if look at this right here, Pixabay photography. I'm wondering if Pixabay is going to Pexels now. Yeah, interesting. Anyway, we had. I thought I had my Setmore open. Let's go over here real quick. There it is. We did. We had it open. And then we had share and it took us to the booking page. What's this here? It's just copied it, I think. Link copied. So we could go back over here and put the link in here instead. And then when somebody goes on it, they would go into my Setmore calendar, save changes. We're going to do a preview. Go over here. I'd like to hire you. And there. Okay. So that's how you would do that. Let's go back over here and do some more playing. What else do we want to play with? Let's just go over here and just see what all they're doing. Again, anything that they're doing here, you can do. Okay. And even if you have a page that's like in a completely different funnel, maybe you have a page that is on what's the word I'm looking for? Um, your blog. You have a blog page. All you need is a URL. All right. So Brilliant Directories. This is a sign up for Brilliant Directories. Um, let's go back over here. I'm going to right click on this tab. I'm going to do a duplicate. And it's going to take me to the exact same place. And I'm going to go out of here. And let's just go up to, do I have any other stuff in here? No, I don't. But right now we're looking at the single column. We can go over here to this double column. I'm going to click on this link to copy it. And then we're going to go back over here. Going to click into here. Going to do a paste. And all that is just a link. We're going to do a save. Again, we're going to preview it. Now we go back down here to that Brilliant Directories. We're going to click on it. And there's our double column. Okay. So again, you can do all kinds of stuff here. Oh, buttons. Right now, I've got it kind of floating. All right. Click into the button. Scroll all the way down here. Right up in here. Again, let's change the color of this button. And there. Cool. This is text color for the button. Yeah, I kind of like that. If you think you want, instead of just pure white, you could kind of drag it down around here like this. I think the white is more white is better. And I think just F's all the way across the board is what we want, just pure white. Click out of it. Oh, get back into our button. Again, we got margin. And a lot of people that watch my stuff, I say this over and over and over and over again. Check to see if we've got any other viewers. Margin is going to be the space between elements. So margin is going to be, hey, I want more space between the button and the text. Padding is I want space inside the button. So I want more space between the writing and the outside edge of the button and the outside sides of the button. Okay. So here's what I'm going to, let's play with this. I'm going to give more space between, I'm going to use margin. I'm going to put more space between the top of the button and the text. Boom. Okay. Now it's like, hey, I think I want more space on the padding inside. So right now it's 10 all the way across, and they've got 45 on the sides. You can drop that down, which looks awful. Okay. Definitely don't want that. But I kind of like having things a little bit closer. That 45 was a bit much. But then here, you can say, hey, I want more on the top. 25, and let's do 25. You can actually just type in 25 also. So there's a bigger button if you wanted to. The other thing you can do, again, this is really just going to be with this live stream. I'm just kind of going off and just running with stuff. While we're in with buttons, though, go in here, and you can put icons either before, or after the writing. We go in here, and icon selector before text, and you literally just open that up. And when you go in here, you're like going, well, okay. Yeah, you can scroll through all this. There's a lot of stuff there. Or you can do sign, and it pulls up anything that kind of has to do with the sign. Let's do sign up. Sign up didn't work. Let's do that. Still didn't work. Purchase. No. How about buy? It's not having a lot of. Let me do a return. No. Sometimes you find really, really cool stuff. Sign up. Trying to think what would be some good things for similar ways to search for this. Sign. And I've got some stuff coming up here for sign, which is not bad. And these are always kind of cool. These are things that I like to use a lot. Boom. So, and see how it just put it up there. And you can you can totally change the icon color. It doesn't have to stay white. Oh, that removed it. So sign again. I liked that. I thought we could change the icon color. You can. Let's go back over here. And then somewhere up here are colors for stuff. Background color, text color, background color, subtext color. Okay. I was telling you about the float. Okay. The way this is right now, I'm going to go out of this. The way this is right now, these are floating. That's called the float. Okay. Let's do a zoom. Save changes. Click on our little highlight option here, right? And just checking the OBS stuff. Seeing if I'm breaking everything. See if this is becoming more of a train wreck than I thought. Which one did we play with? This one right here. Now, this was a zoom. Okay, so there's a zoom. I kind of like the zoom, actually. I might actually go back and change our float to the zoom. Okay, now let's go back over here to slide, save. And again, we have to do a preview when we're doing this kind of stuff because I'm not looking at it live. Go back down here. And that just kind of slides to the right. And I don't really like that. And then again, you can change just how much it does. So let's just do something crazy like 20. Save. Preview. X out of that, scroll down. And so that's more. All right. Let's go back over here to zoom. That zoom was cool. And make that 20. Save. Yeah, I haven't found a Stan Store template yet that has that feature. They're all just their buttons aren't animated at all. Yeah, I think 20 is too much, but you can see that's kind of cool, right? All right. So that's how you would go and change your buttons. Again, you can do your buttons for, let's click into that again, URLs. Okay. You can do a submit form, show pop-ups. I mean, you can do all kinds of stuff. And let's play with that next. All right. I've seen some stand stores where they actually have, just like this right here, sign up and download. All right, so they have this set up to where um, the person's able to sign up right then and there in the stand store. Now, this may be one of the situations where we might either be a little limited on system and or we would need to use some custom code because if I remember correctly, the way system setup is you can only have a form work on one page, and it's like on submit to this. But let's play with it and just find out. All right. So let's just say right up here we have the zero to income toolbox. I'm going to go back and I'm going to take this out because I'm just not a fan of that funky image that we found. I'm going to click back into there. I completely deleted. So we'll go back and we're going to add the image. So we're going to go back and add an image, which is there. Put that in there. Okay. And we're going to go back in here. Your images. Yep, we're going to do that one. Cool. And I definitely don't want it that big. Let's go over here in this image and find out just how big it is. It's 71. Oh, type in 71. And the reason that it's wacky and not lined up is because we have it in the middle. So we'll go over here to alignment there. Okay. The other thing that you might run into, and see, this is off because if we go into this, notice this column, we have um, the right cell is bigger on this row than on this one. Okay, it's a smaller cell. So if I could get in here and drag this, there, oh, it did let me cool. Now it's lined up. Some other things when you're tweaking this for your own, you might think, man, that's still just a lot of white space here. Okay, so one of the things that you can do, let's just see if I can get in there again or not. It's not letting me. I'm gonna click into there. You could try and make this smaller and get the writing for the zero to income, a free toolbox closer to the image. But what happens is the image, as you take the column and make it smaller, what happens is the image gets smaller. And you might say, no, I just want my text to be closer to the image. I don't want the image to be any smaller. There's a whole lot of white space there to work with. Okay, so let's play with that next also. So don't think padding works, but margin does for this technique. You go in here and you say, I want it to be closer to those tools. So let's first just go into padding and play with it. I'm going to click on the padding and I want all four to open up. And what I'm trying to do is instead of a positive number, you make it a negative number. And I want it on the left and it's not letting me. Okay. Padding doesn't work. So if we go up to margin though and click on our margin options, and again, it's on, I want it to be smaller on the left of the zero to income. I can use the down arrow and I can do that. Okay. And you can just say, I would really like it to be a little bit closer. I don't need that much white space between my image and my text. Let's just make it negative 145 so we can remember. Okay. Now I don't know if we can just type this in for each one or not. Let's go into text, go into margin, go into left, and I'm going to try and do negative. I don't think negative works. Yeah, it doesn't. So in this case, and I don't even know if I can do, it did. It allowed me to type it from there. You got to play around with this stuff. All right. And I'm going to do enter. Okay. And it let me. Okay. And I'm okay with the actual button being there. Now, when you're doing all this kind of stuff, you definitely still want to go and check it out on mobile. And again, this isn't perfect. It's not like mobile is going to look exactly like this when you actually pull it up on your mobile device or on a mobile device, but it's going to be pretty close. All right. And so as I look at this, yeah, it's fine on mobile. There's nothing jumping out at me going, it broke. It's a train wreck. I love that term. Dana uses that all of the time, and just absolutely love that term. We got someone watching right now. Hey, how's it going? Whoever whoever you are, hope you're having a good day. And hopefully I don't bore you too much. I'm just sitting here playing around with. If you just came in here, we're playing around with a free zero to income stand store like template, and I'm showing people how to edit it. And I'm getting into the weeds with this editing and showing you all kinds of little tricks while I go through this on this live. So, so anyway, let's go back to our desktop version. And again, we used negative margin. And so the negative margin really comes into play. And again, just want to double check it and just make sure, hey, did that break something? Um, and something else to remember with this stuff with system. Folks, if you break something, you can always do this undo. Okay, it just undid what I did. All right. I can go back and redo it, put it back the way I liked it. Um, yes, you have to be careful. You don't want to be totally breaking your websites, but at the same time, you know, there's what's the word I'm looking for? System does, this stuff gives you a little bit of grace. It's not like, oh my gosh, I just totally destroyed everything. Don't stress over it too much. You can get back in there and fix stuff. Sometimes it can be kind of overwhelming, but you can do it. All right. So there we've got that. Whoever was on was just left, so not a big deal. Like I said, this is probably kind of dry. It's like this stuff's boring. Um, I get a kick out of it. So that's how you would bring stuff closer together using negative margin. All right. Um, this right here is a horizontal line. You could take that out. You could make it an image. You could make it like a swoosh if you wanted to. You could go into Canva and say, I'm looking for some border images type of thing and pull stuff up. The other thing that I think I wanted to do, definitely, obviously, you want to put your own logo here, right? You click into that and change your logo. But here, right now, Dana and I, our main focus is on YouTube. So we're not, yeah, we have some Facebook stuff. We're not going to put our Facebook on there at this point. We don't really do Instagram, but a lot of creators are going to have other platforms that they use. So I talked about SVGs earlier, and this right up here is where we're going to really want, where I think the SVGs are going to come into play, and how you go into here and change the or add these. Um, we go into here, we've got. It's kind of interesting that it's giving me what's the word I'm looking for. What's the word I'm looking for? An arrow. It's giving me an arrow right now. I'm going to click on Save Changes and see if it still does arrow. It's not. Yeah, it still does. Anyway, interesting. So obviously, you're not going to be like zero to income, right? The whole point of this stuff is to tweak it your own. Now, what we want to do, if you have 4 icons, then you would just go up here and see the blue line that's going across. It's going to drop it. That's letting me know it's going to drop it right underneath zero to income. And in this case, it doesn't matter where we put this because we're going to play with it. And then if I scroll down and say, I really want it here, now it's going to drop my 4 columns below the YouTube icon. And there they are. Okay. And it's still wanting to grab that. So what I'm going to do here is see, it did let me grab it. It still let me grab it. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to drag it into, this is all kind of wacky right now. I should have like a 4-column row right in here. Yeah, it did. It dropped it into the 4-column row. So we've got 4 equal columns right now. If you have 5, this is where you're going to want to use that 5-column row custom snippet. System.io doesn't have a 5-column layout. And so if you have 5, this is where you'd want to go and check out, go to the Zero to Income channel, look for 5-column, just do a search for 5-column. You'll find my video that I did showing you how to sign up for, and it's part of the Zero to Income toolbox, and it's a code snippet, and you would just copy it, and you would go into your raw HTML and pop it in here, and you would take that copied code and pop it into here, and then you'd have a 5-column row instead of a 4-column row. And that's how you would add a 5-column row to system.io. For this case, we're going to stick with 4. And what I wanted to do here with this live stream, also part of it, is show you how to use Font Awesome and get SVG icons for your different socials. So we're going to go over here. We're going to go to fontawesome.com, right? And then we're going to say, let's just do Instagram. We're going to do a search. Click up here. There we are, Instagram. Okay, I'm looking for, not pro, I'm looking for free ones. I think I also want to try and keep them to be similar. So if we go back over here and look at this, I don't know if that really matters. I think that it should be close anyway, either one of these actually. Um, let's run with this one. Okay, so it's going to open it up. Now here's how I would recommend there are ways of changing the color once it's on your site. It's a little, what's what I'm looking for, um, a little bit more in depth. And again, you'd have to be going into the raw HTML. What I would do here though is we know we have this red. All right, I'm going to go and use my ColorZilla picker to grab. I should have this memorized. 255, 87, 87. Okay, and I know this now. Font Awesome doesn't use the hex codes, the pound FF5757. It uses the RGB code. So you can click on this to get the hex code, but, and I'm sure there might be a way of saying copy the RGB, but it doesn't. So it's 255, 87, 87, I think it was. Let's go back over here. Yep, 255, 87, 87. So we're going to go over here and we want to make this our color, right? So we go over here to styling tools, and then we go over here to pick your color, and then right here, 255, tab 87, tab 87, and then just click out, and boom, there's our color. Now I'm going to go over to SVG, and I don't think it matters. I think this is just probably just for the code, but I'm going to go ahead and just click on the download SVG file. Okay, and it downloaded it to probably my downloads. Yep, downloads. Okay, SVG files a type of web file, so they don't ever give you, at least on a Windows, they don't give you a visual of what you're seeing. Um, so you just have to know Square, Instagram brands. So I'm going to rename this right now. Instagram SVG red. Okay. So now you go over here. We're done. We're done with Font Awesome on that one. Going to go to our editor. Going to go over to here. And again, this is an actual image. So SVG is an image file, just different types of image file. And we're going to go and find our images. Going to grab that, pop it in there. I'm going to grab another image. Just going to take care of them all. It's weird. It's not bringing it up. There it is. And then the other thing you can do is you can just copy it. There it is. Okay. So go over to our image and image file. Click on that, upload, select. That's the one we want. And there, insert. Go back over here to our YouTube and figure out it's 50. Go up here and take this to 50. So they're all the same size. Okay. It actually looks a little bigger, but that's okay. I'm gonna run with it. So, and I also want to see is the YouTube in the center as well? Yeah. If you wanted to, you could maybe drop it down and say, hey, I think I'd like to make it more like the same height maybe as YouTube. Actually, I do kind of think that I'm going to do that. I'm going to keep it at like 40, I think. Close enough. So same thing. Maybe you have, all right, let's do, well, why am I drawing a blank? Go out of here. TikTok. That's what it was. Good old TikTok. And there's TikTok. Okay. Same thing. 255, 87, 87. I want my red. Maybe I will remember it, huh? 87, 87. Click out of it. Boom. Gonna go click on download. I'm gonna go up to my downloads folder and Here, pull this over. You guys can totally see this stuff. No big deal. I'm gonna rename. Gonna call this TikTok SVG red, and we'll get out of that. And then we can get out of that. We can go back over to our editor. Click on this. Same thing. We're gonna go upload TikTok SVG red and insert. Let's try 50. I have a feeling this one's gonna probably be whoa. That didn't work. A little bit big. Let's do 50. And yeah, I had a feeling it was going to also be a one that we'd want to drop down to 40, like the what am I drawing a blank? Excuse me. Like the Instagram. Talking too much. I don't know how some people do these 4-hour lives. That's crazy. Lots of water, I guess. Okay. So we now have um, three. Let's just we're here. What all do we want to do next? Let's do LinkedIn. Let's go ahead and do all four. LinkedIn. And this one we're going to do, again, do my red, 255, 87, 87, click out, download, open. You know what? I'm not going to even worry about that. We're just going to do minimize. We don't have to get fancy. Let's just go in here and do this. Upload. And LinkedIn. Insert. Again, more than likely this is going to be 40. 40. Yeah. All right. Now you might be looking at this. Let's save changes. We'll do a preview and look at this real quick. And now we have 4 social icons. And you might be saying, man, it's kind of wide. All right. So let's go over here and pop into here. I want the whole row if I can. And what I'm going to do here, probably going to be margin. And I'm going to play with the right and the left margins here. And that should push everything together. All right. So I'm just going to drag it, see what happens. Yep. And I'm going to do like 125. And I'm just going to use my number pad. Same thing here on the left, 125. Yeah. Actually, I'm even thinking 150. 150. I think that's respectable. Save changes. Let's do a quick visual. I don't know. I mean, I think that's still just a lot of breathing room there. Let's go back into here once again. Come on. There we go. 200. That's just really, let's play on the edge. I still think that that's a lot of breathing room. 275. I think it's better. So we can go and preview it, but I also want to let's just double check mobile. All right. I don't know about you guys, but I look at that, I'm like, no, stop. That looks like garbage. No good. All right. Gonna click into the row. All right. So I got the row highlighted. I'm gonna click into the row. We're gonna scroll down here. And right here, disable vertically stacking rows on mobile devices. We don't want it to be vertically stacking. So we're going to click on this little box. Boom. Now, all right. Whew. Sigh of relief. We're good, right? We're good. Okay. So now we go back and we just save changes and we click on our eyeball. And there we go. Okay. So that's how you would go and change it. You might want to put some more space margin between zero to income and your socials. So we go up here. Again, we're gonna work with the row, and we're gonna remove that whole row and go into that there. Come on, it's not wanting me to go into the row. There we go. And I think I'm going to just add probably 15. I do 15 a lot. Save changes. Now, here's what you need to do next. We need to have these go somewhere, right? You don't want them just going to any random place. You want them to go to your stuff. And so you go into the YouTube and you would change this to be your YouTube channel. Right now it's going to the Zero to Income YouTube channel. If you go over here and click on it, guess what's going to happen? The other thing that we've got this set up is it didn't open in a new window, and you might want it to open in a new window. So I'm going to go back and we're going to click out of that. Going to go back over here and right in here, open in a new window. Boom. Okay. So have it open in a new window. You go into the next one. You want to open the URL. Put the URL for your Instagram in there, right? Doesn't hurt to put alt text in there. That might help with Google search and all that kind of good stuff. Just lets Google know what your whole page is. I would put something like here, zero to income Instagram channel. Okay, something like that. The other thing, while you're making this your own, go into settings. Okay, this is the settings for the whole page. And what you're looking at right here, this says Stan Store. If we hover over it, it says Stan Store link in bio. Okay. If we go up here, this is being controlled by right here, Stan Store link in bio. So whatever you want here, Zero to Income Stan Store link in bio. Now, obviously, that whole thing is not going to show up. Save. Okay. And now watch this. This is going to change. Click the eyeball. See, Zero to Income. If you hover over it, it's got the whole thing shows up. Okay. So that's how you would go and take this Stan Store clone, link in bio, and make it your own. You can put your own images in here. Oh, you know what we didn't do? And you can do that. We talked about that and we went down, we went down a rabbit hole. We went down a rabbit hole. And that was how to actually have like a form. All right. Somebody had some forms. So let's go back and play with that, right? Let's go back and play with actually putting a form in here instead. Okay. So I'm going to click into here and I'm doing this on the fly. So as we go into this, um, the question is going to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Will it actually work or not? You know, and so I do a lot of troubleshooting. It's like I'll do something. I was like, oh, that didn't work, right? Okay, a lot of troubleshooting goes on in this stuff. Um, couple of ways of skinning this cat. We could do a form input. Okay. Another thing that's coming to mind, if we go into this, we can go to blocks. Okay. And like a lot of Podia has them, Kajabi has them, WordPress has them. They have custom blocks already done for you. Okay. So we're opening this up and it has opt-in forms. And that's really what we're working with here is an actual opt-in form here for a toolbox. And so you could go into here and you could click into this and say, okay, what kind of opt-in forms do they have? But what this is actually a complete section. And so I'm just going to pop this over and I'll show you. Just drag it over wherever you want it and pop it in there and see how it completely popped it in the top. And it's just a whole, it's literally just a whole section. I'm going to delete this whole thing because I don't want it. That's ugly. But that would be one way of attacking this. I'm not going to use that way. As I look at that, I'm like, yeah, it's a whole section. I don't want to do that. I just want to put the form right here. So we're going to go back into our elements. Okay. And we're going to go to form input, which is right here. And I'll pop it right there. And notice it's putting it way over to the right. And that's because we don't have that same negative margin that we did earlier up here. That negative margin we had was negative 145. So I'm going to go into here and click on this. And we're going to do a negative margin. And I think we don't need that much in here. 20, 25, that's the top margin there. We really don't need that much. 10, I think works. But our left, we need that to be negative 45. And we first have to do down button to get that. We go back and do, oh, let's try this again, 45. Oh, and it wants to do 1. Let's take that out. Okay. And it didn't do it. Why? It should have worked. Oh, okay. We'll do it this way then. That's fine. Okay. And what's kind of good about this, that's the other thing. As you're doing this stuff, if you don't want to have to go and do all this margin stuff for each and every one of these, you can get one of these done and then copy the whole thing and paste it back into each one of these. Yes, it's some work, but it's probably less work than going and changing the margin on this one, 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 on this one. Instead, it would be like, hey, I've got this section right here done just the way I want. And you would just copy it, go up here and copy it, boom, and it'll be exact. Okay. So I'm going to take that out. Okay. So what this is telling me right now is there's nothing been set here. Select input type. We're going to say name. Okay. We could ask for a last name as well. So we've got that. Now what we'll do is click into, I'm going to click back. Okay, click on the back arrow. We want another one. We're going to drop that also. But rather than doing that, because then we have to do the whole margin thing, right? Let's just go up here and just do this. And I'm going to do one more. So we're going to do form input. This one's going to be last name. Oh, they don't have last name. There it is. Last name. And then form input. Come on. Email. Okay. Let's go ahead and pop this up here. Yeah, okay, that took care of it. Cool. Now, you might look at this and go, I don't know if I like all the white. I don't know if I like, and if we were smart, we would have gotten this one all dialed in as well. So let's do this. Play with this again. And first name. Let's do background color. And I want to grab that tan just to see what it looks like. I can use my ColorZilla color picker. And the hex code, going to copy that, so that's fine. Go up here and background color. And let's just see what this looks like. I don't know, I think I'm okay with that. Next thing I'm going to do is see what happens here. Nope, don't like that. Definitely want that there. We can change around the corners if we want. Excuse me. If you wanted a drop shadow, you could do that. I usually like a hard shadow if I'm going to do it. They do have a solid like border color there. Let's go back in here. And let's just see if we do something like that. I almost want, and this is just playing around with stuff, folks. You get in here and just kind of get throwing a border color. You could take the border color completely off if you wanted to. One pix, you could do thicker. What I'm looking for is to make these form fields a little bit smaller. That's kind of big. And there is a way of doing that. Oh, up here. Margin. I don't think it would be margin that we would be doing that with. Left and right. Yeah, that'll work. Do we have any padding in here? Nope. So it is going to be right margin. These are just, don't need it that big. So we're going to go up here to our margin. And that says 200. And again, this is a situation where we can use our arrows and go past. How many people are going to have a really long first name? Who knows? Well, it didn't want 300. It didn't let me do 300. There we go. They might have a long email though, so I'm kind of thinking about that. Going, maybe they have a long email. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to delete these because I don't want to have to go and redo the margin on them, the color on them, the what's we're looking for, um, the drop shadow on them. Just get one done the way you want, and then copy it. Okay. So duplicate and one more time, and then go back over to form input, last name, and this one's going to be email. Okay. And then this one here, our button, is not going to be opening up a URL anymore because they've already filled out their name and email. Now what we need to do is email them the free tool, right? So what we're going to do is a submit form. Now at this point, we could either take them to a next step, which would be a thank you page. And that thank you page would be something like, and I suppose that we could do this on this call. I have no idea how long we've been on this call. Um, and let's do that. Let's go ahead and also just do a full-on thank you page. But we go to the next step. We could go to a custom URL. We can also do no redirection whatsoever. Let's see here if we have anything here. Sometimes it will give us the option to, what's it we're looking for, have an actual email, but I'm not seeing that. But I definitely want to, I deliver a link to either sign in to sign up for the course, and or I'll deliver, a PDF or something like that. So um, let's just go to next step. Okay. And we'll do save. So we have to create a next step. We have to create a thank you page. All right. So let's do, and maybe I'll make that part of the template for everybody. Probably makes sense, right? We're going to go out of this, and we want to do another step. So we're going to add a step, and thank you for signing up. Make sure make sure that I'm spelling correctly. So an opt-in thank you page. All right. So they already have a lot of templates here. That's just this is going to just be a general sales thank you page. But this is an opt-in. All right. That's going to be for a freebie. All right. So we're going to do an opt-in thank you page, and we're going to do save. Now this is going to have all kinds of different, what's the word I'm looking for, templates that we can use. I typically like to just find something that is going to be very, very generic, because I'm going to blow it out for the most part. I'm going to blow it out and just make it all my own anyway. And the other thing you got to keep in mind with System.io templates is they aren't always mobile friendly. Some of them are just dialed in. Others are just, man, you click on that mobile icon and they're a mess. Whoever created the template didn't think about mobile at all. So you need to really be careful about that when you're grabbing them. And so that's where I kind of like to keep things simple. Thanks for your purchase. This one here is kind of cool. It can have, you can do a video. Let's go ahead and just preview it. I've used this one all the time. And it's not showing up the video on the preview. It's there. So first step, second step, third step, I like to do that as well. So let's just go ahead and exit out of this. And we're going to say, yeah, let's just go ahead and select it. So thanks for signing up. All right. And we'll go ahead and change this to, thank you. Boom. Oh, it doesn't like, You'll notice things like this when you're trying to put a path in, slug, path, whichever, URL path, that you'll get this value is not valid, and that could be like, what the heck? What's going on? Why am I doing this wrong? It doesn't like. It all has to be lowercase. So thank you, and then boom. Okay. I'm going to go in and edit the page. In this case, we changed it to this gray. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this gray. That's what was going on. That's what that crosshairs was coming on. My plugin was still playing. My voice is still getting really dry throat. All right, we're going to go into our thank you page here. And I'm taking all this out. We don't need any kind of, it's just a thank you that's part of our stand store. So I'm going to blow this out. Cool. And then we're going to go in here to this section. Going to change that to our brown or our gray. Okay. We had, these weren't in the steps before. So if I was going to use these are going to be images. Might be a little hard. It's hard to get to these when you're getting it from a template to change the colors on them. So what I would do here is you could go into Canva and create your own images if you wanted, or you could just literally just take these out, and that's what we're going to do. Just going to take all these out. And then this is a 2-column row. And if we're going to take those out, there's no reason to have them there. And I'm going to take this out also. This is going to be a really super simple thank you page for our stand store here. All right. So I'm literally going to, let me take a quick peek at this. First things first, let's go back over here. It is just black. And go into here. I'm going to change the font to black. I also think I want to change this to, not really a fan of domain. Let's just see, Open Sans. Poppins is usually pretty cool. Okay. Thank you for signing. How about this? Thank you for your, how about this? Thank you for signing up. I'm overthinking this. Now, the other thing to keep in mind when you're playing with system.io, all right, excuse me again, is when you have the editor open and something's scrunched up, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be scrunched up on the actual screen. And so what you want to do is you want to close your editor by clicking on the little knob, tab thing right here. And so, yeah, it's still scrunched up. So I'm going to click into this again, open this up. I'm going to go up here, and you can either change the font size and maybe make that to the point where it brings it up on the same line. In this case, like, no, I think I want the same. I want it to be bigger. Line height, you might want to play with that also. Is there a lot of space between the lines? The way I want to do it, I want them all on the same line anyway, so it's really not that big of a deal. But we'll take it to 50. Definitely did not. I think that is still too close. Also, I'm going to make this bold. But I told you before, the other thing is look at your section settings. So let's go into a section, and it's at wide right now. I prefer wide, so I'm going to keep it at wide. Okay. So we're going to go back up here, click into this, and just see if there's anything that we can do. We've got bottom margin here. Padding is all at 0. So what we might end up doing, if you really want this to be all in one line, is you can try and do some negative right margin and see what happens. And Boom. All right. We now have it all on one line. Okay. So that would give us the ability now to make this even bigger. So let me just go back in here and just see, is this in some kind of a row? There's the section. There's a section. That's interesting. We got two different sections, huh? Is there something going on? Ah, look at that. We are in a 2-column row here. And system's going to sometimes do that also. And when someone designs it that way, what they're really trying to do is, sorry for hitting the boom there. What they're really trying to do is make sure that it plays nice on mobile. And in this case, I really don't think putting it in a 2-column row makes sense. It's like, maybe they want to control this. But honestly, how I would do this, because I want to be able to, that was kind of annoying having to do negative margin. So let's click back into here, and I'm just going to add a new row above this, and I'm going to go, I don't know if that's going to be it or not. Yeah, it's still not popping that row where I want it to be. That made it a whole new section. I don't want that. Let's go and drag the row. That's where I want it. I want this row to be all in its own row. There it is right there. It still wants to, let's do the back. It still wants to go and put it in. There we go. Okay. And then this, now I'm going to pop this in below that. And see, that might have been part of it, is they were wanting to control this text, but you literally, excuse me, you could add another row and control that text too. So I don't think there's really a need to have, and I'm looking for it, there it is. This can go bye-bye. Okay. Now I do think that that's a little close to the top there. We'll click on Save Changes, and then we're going to add some margin top. Of 30, and then I'm going to take this to 0, just see what happens. Notice we took it to 0, and it's fine. And excuse me, now we can also make this, see how much freedom we have now to make that bigger and it not dropping into another line. Okay, so first step, we're going to go in here and let's go back to our stand store. We've got some brown. Let's go ahead and grab our brown with our color picker. Okay, let's go back and let's go over here and do that. Make it bold. Not really sure if I want to keep it that way or not, but that's okay. It'll just be something like, go check your email, the new toolbox. And so whatever you're delivering, you just put here, will be delivered there. And what I like to do is say, let them know exactly what the subject of that email is going to be. Okay. It's going to come from, help at mydomain.com. I mean, maybe it's not help. Maybe it's your name at mydomain.com. That's okay. Let them know where it's going to come from, so they know exactly what to look for. With the subject, your free toolbox. Okay. So you let them know. And then I'm going to do this. Going to copy that. Going to drag it all the way down to here and put it right there. I'm going to take that out. Sure. Second step. And you might say something like, if you don't see the email, please check your spam folder. Let's do all caps. And then we'll do copy, pop that all the way down there. Gonna take this one and delete it. Boom. Third step. And just kind of give them an idea. Log in and start using your toolbox. Okay. If you wanted to have a call to action button, you could. In this case, I'm taking that out. But the main thing is when they hit that submit, it's not just kind of like, what next? That happens. I've seen that happen multiple times where they hit the submit button and they don't get any kind of an indication that they actually hit the submit button. Nothing at all let them know, hey, thank you for submitting your stuff. Go check your email. You know, you have to give them something, right? And so that's what this is going to be for. So we click our save changes. Okay. So next step is, and maybe I make this also part of the toolbox, and that is we need to have an email sent when they submit that form, and we need to probably have a tag. Okay. So let's go to here and just see, do we have any emails available? With some different types of funnels, they'll have like an email option, and I'm not seeing that. Um, what's interesting is we added that step and we were in there playing with it, and the thank you page isn't there right now. There it is. I just refreshed. Can you imagine if we had gotten in there and it was gone and all that work was gone? That would have been that would have been frustrating. Anyway, so we don't have any kind of a email or anything like that in here. So what we're going to do, we're going to go in here, we're going to go in and create a campaign. So we have, this came evidently probably with another, what's the word? Thank you so much for purchasing. So this came from somebody else's thing that they shared with me. This is just their template here. So we could use that if we wanted to, but we're not going to. We're going to go back over here, confirm. Yeah, that's fine. As a matter of fact, I'll leave it, whatever. That's fine. Can I have a campaign? I don't know. I'm on a free version right now. Let's go over here to system.io/pricing. And let's just see, we don't want to get in trouble, how many campaigns we can have. I think it's only one. Email, sales funnels, courses, students, communities, automation rules. One. We can have one. Okay. So basic sales confirmation email. I'm going to go into here and click on this and settings. So we'll call this free toolbox campaign. And this is and what I like to do sometimes also, just to kind of make it clear, this is going to be just one email that is sent when someone fills out the, what's the word I'm looking for? Opt-in. We're just going to say the opt-in form. Opt-in form for the free toolbox. Okay. And yeah, toolbox actually is one word, and pretty sure. Save. Okay. So there's one email in there right now, and we'll leave it. I don't know. I'm going to make this deactivate. Doesn't really matter at this point, but we're going to go ahead and create. And you can put as many emails. Pretty sure you can put as many emails into your one campaign as you want. Subject. So remember I said look for the subject. So right now I got it's coming from Egbert Peabody. This is my alter ego. Let's go to ChatGPT and just say, let's do a new chat. Sure, we're fine. I would like help. I would like you to draft an email with a subject line that is going to deliver. All right. And so this is where you would just go in and use ChatGPT. Dana and I use ChatGPT all day long, every day. We love ChatGPT, and I use Claude. I love Claude. So especially for when I'm doing codes, Claude AI has a tendency to get it faster when I'm trying to do code snippets. Um, but ChatGPT is your friend. All right. Don't sit here and try and come up with the whole draft an email when you don't have to. You know, definitely make it your own once it comes up with its own thing, but utilize it. So whatever it is you're delivering, maybe it's a free PDF guide, maybe it's a free prayer guide. Why am I drawing a blank? Um, prayer plan. Um, maybe it's a free course. All right. So in our case, it's a free toolbox. Deliver a free toolbox. Um, please check spelling. I would like you to draft an email with the subject line that is going to deliver a free toolbox that the visitor just signed in or opted in for. And you could also throw in stuff about your company here so that it also is, and maybe even your name so it knows. Deliver a free Zero2Income toolbox just signed up for. Um, this email is coming from, put your name, my name, okay? Dana and Sean, co-founders of Zero2Income, okay? You can get as fancy as this you want. Um, let's play with this. Please write this. All right, I'm gonna be aging myself. Write this as if you are Tweaky from Buck Rogers. Let's just see what happens. Let's see if it knows Tweaky. So Tweaky is Buck Rogers' little robot. Beep, 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 beep. What's up, Buck? So I'm really just playing. I'm just really having fun with this right now. Okay. Dana and Sean here, your trusty co-founders of Zero to Income. Guess what? You've just cracked open the gateway to the future of income generation. I don't know about that, but anyway. And this is where you go and take it and make it your own. We are all about going from zero to income. But it's not just we're not just about get rich quick. We would love it if we had the secret sauce to watch us and you're gonna be making money next week. Not gonna be the case, folks. Dana and I have been working together. Oh, I don't know, close to a year now. We've been really doing videos on our YouTube channel, just like the one I'm doing right now. Just started doing live streams like a week or two ago. Um, but we've been really hitting the YouTube channel hard since March. It's now August. I think we're up to like 190 videos, and really the channel hasn't grown that much. And the key to growing an online business is your audience. So if you know a way of growing your audience in a week, hey, cool. You could potentially be making some income, in a week. This is a long game, folks. It's going to be more like a year, 18 months, 2 years even. All right. You just have to get out there, create, share, help, and grow your audience. So that's where when I saw this income generation, we're going to change that. But it gave us a kind of fun little thing here, and here, stay, straight from the stars. So it's asking, it's acting like Tweaky. All right, so we're gonna just copy that whole thing, and you can either do that or you can just click on copy. Okay, we're gonna go back over here to our campaign, and actually, what did it give us as far as we don't need Font Awesome anymore? We don't need that open, that open. We don't need any stand store stuff open anymore. Taking all that out. Probably don't even need any of this. Exit out of that. All right. What did it do as far as a subject line? There it is. There's a subject. So let's just copy that. Go over here. Okay. So let's go back. Copy. I'm going to keep this open. Oh, that's interesting. Confirm action. Are you sure you want to exit? Yeah, I'm sure. I really wanted to go into. Oh, I was trying to create an email. But let's go back. Actually, I'm gonna do a duplicate tab. Okay. And what I want to do is go back to our funnel, go into it, go into the thank you for signing up, and edit page. And remember, I told you about the subject. Put the subject in so they know exactly what they're going to be looking for. And if it's possible, maybe we can even have the little fancy little icons in there, right? It's going to come from, all right. Um, let's do this and paste that in. And it did. Okay. Now notice also it kept two columns there. So I'm just going to do this. I'm just go ahead and leave the two columns. That's fine. Um, and the other thing that it's doing, it's actually three columns. Again, don't really need to have three columns. But that's okay. Oh, dragging that down there. Make sure everything is tied up. Okay. So first step, check your email. New box is going to be delivered. It's going to come from help at with the subject. And let's do this. Going to bold it. And I'm actually going to do this. Going to colon and do something like that. And then I want this to be a whole line. And I think I want to have the quotes out. We don't really need the quotes. Go out of that. Still wants to show the text. I want all the bounding boxes away so we can look at this together, right? So cool. It's going to come from with the subject. Cool. Um, again, put your email address here so they know exactly who it's coming from. All right, they know what to look for, and that's what this subject is going to look like for them. All right. So we're going to go back over here to our campaign. We're going to go and click into the campaign. We are going to exit out of that, confirm. Oh yeah, we are in here. We need to create. There it is. Don't know why it was not letting me. So there's our subject. Boom. Sender name. So whatever comes up here, let them know it's going to be coming from Egbert Peabody. We're going to go over here and hopefully that stays there. It's going to be coming from, and instead of the actual domain, we're going to put the name, the email. Actually, we'll do that with the subject. And I'm going to actually change this to bold. Okay. Cool. Save. Now we'll go back over here and then select the sender email address. I don't know if we had a sender email address in here. This account's not been set up for all that. It would be in this drop down here. We might have to stop since I don't have a sender email address, and I know it's not letting us use what's the word I'm looking for. It's not letting us just use a Gmail account anymore, if I remember correctly. You know what? I'm going to run with this. We're going to troubleshoot all this together. All right. I want you to go through and we're going to actually troubleshoot this together. I want this to actually be something that you would do if you ran into this issue. So we need to send our address. So we're going to back up here. We're going to duplicate this tab again because I want this stuff open. And I'm going to just save changes. We're going to go out of here. And then I just got a message here saying that my audio was really, really low, which is odd because I did a test beforehand. And thanks for Pixel Pusher for letting me know. And the test came out just fine. But that doesn't mean that it's not going to come out just fine on the live. So we're doing OBS here, and I'm looking at my other video, my other screen here with my OBS open, trying to figure out how do I fix the audio. Can I do that on the fly? And it's already all the way up. It's not hitting red. It's hitting yellow. Right now, still hitting green. Unfortunately, like I said earlier in the call, it's going to be a train wreck. All right. So, folks, put your helmets on, put on your protective gear, your 5-point harnesses, and prepare yourself for the wreck. All right. So, we are in our funnel list, and what we wanted to do, we need to get an email address that's going to work, right? So, how do we do that? We go up here to our settings, and we're going to go over to emails, and we need to have a verified email address. And I'm pretty sure right here, email sent from a free email address will likely end up in the spam box and hurt your business. It's highly recommended to send emails from your own custom domain. I thought system didn't even allow you to even try and use Gmail as a sending address. My voice is getting crackly again. So here's what we're going to do. Click here to confirm your email address. Boom. I am going to, what's the I'm looking for? Pop this over here so all my email addresses don't show up. Going to grab one of my regular custom domain email addresses. We're going to do, I know I have some. I don't have any like memorized. Let's open up Zoho. By the way, folks, Zoho allows you to have a free, you can take your, John Doe at mydomain.com, and you're like looking to have a John Doe at mydomain.com email address. You don't have to go and spend money at Gmail. You don't have to spend money at GoDaddy to have these professional emails. You can use Zoho. One of the caveats is, and I'm going to pull this over so you can actually see. One of the caveats is you have to use the Zoho mail platform. All right. But this is the Windows app. I'm not a fan of their web app, but this is the Windows email, Zoho email platform. I love it. I think it's great. But that's the caveat with the free version of Zoho and the paid version. If you wanted to have a paid version for your Zoho stuff, you could. It's $1 a month per user. I mean, I think Google's is like $6.95 a month per user. But the free version, completely free, allows you to have 5 email addresses set up. So you can have right here, what you're looking at here is Sean at Tech Gremlin Warrior. That's what we're going to go ahead and use. I could have help at Tech Gremlin Warrior. I could have support at Tech Gremlin Warrior, and 2 more for free. I mean, why not, right? So anyway, we're going to go back over here to our settings, and I'm going to type in here, click here to confirm your email address, and we're going to do that. Okay, cool. It didn't. I think it does. Actually, let me do this. Bitwarden, my password manager, is playing. It's not playing nice, and I need to go into it, manage extension, and disable it. Okay. We're going to refresh this. We're going to go into email addresses, and here, Sean at Tech. Now, the interesting thing will be, will this work because I've got this set up. I know I've got this set up with um, some other, what's the word I'm looking for? System accounts. Okay, and we're just going to save. Cool. Email address has been added. We have a testing email address. We should see something over here now. And yeah, we're still not getting anything there. So let's copy this. All right. And let's go back over to create. Nope. Let's do a refresh. Go to create. Might have to do more. Sender email address. Let's click on this and see. Click here to add and verify new email. I thought I had just done that, but we'll do that right now. Click here. Okay. There it is. Oh, you know what's going on here? It's pending, folks. Why is it pending? Because now we have to go over to our email and verify it. So again, we're going to go back to, I'm looking at my other window to do this and I don't need to. I do have it open. Okay. So let's go back over here and we're going to confirm it. Yeah. Again, Egbert Peabody is my alter ego. You need to confirm. Click here. Confirmed it. Confirm. Cool. All right. Now let's go back over to our campaign. And will it show up? It's still not showing up. That's okay. We're going to do a refresh. And we'll go to create. Okay. That's happening as well. None of this surprises me. Things can be kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? System can sometimes be slow. Let's see why. Token not found. That's kind of interesting. A token not found. So that would be why it didn't work. Here, return to my mail settings. It's been verified. It's right there. Let's go back on over here. We're going to go completely out of this. Just going to refresh it. And then we're going to go back to our campaigns and shouldn't really have this kind of issues here. But again, maybe system.io it's another term I like to use. It's stuck on stupid. Okay, campaigns, and then maybe we have to log completely out, log back in. Who knows? Go back in, and this shouldn't the status here shouldn't be an issue. Thank you for purchasing. That's one that we're not going to use. Go back to campaigns. Yeah. Create. Oh no, we don't want to create a campaign. We're just looking to get into it. There it is. Now create. We're going to create an email. Let's just go through the process of template selected. Let's do this and just see what happens at techgremlinwarrior.com. See what happens. It's still not letting it. It's still not seeing it. It's still not seeing it. I am going to it's been verified right there. I'm going to go from here. Going to do the hokey pokey and turn myself about. Could very well be. I'm wondering if it's because I don't have an actual domain set up on this. That shouldn't be the case though. We shouldn't be having this issue. We shouldn't. How about that? We shouldn't be having these issues, people. again, when we're doing videos, when we're not on a live stream, this kind of stuff is like whatever. Just editing out of this. Guess what? There's no editing out. We're live, people. Um, we're live, and it is. I don't know if the helmet I'm wearing and the 5-point harness that I'm wearing right now is going to be enough to protect me in this train wreck. It's too bad I don't actually have a helmet on. I could really be a fool and go put a football helmet on or something. Um, but yeah, so there's our actual email address. I wonder why why it won't pull it. That is the strangest thing. Anyway, we are going to move right along. That would be a help at system.io issue to say what's going on here. Let's go back to our settings real quick. Go back to emails. See if there's anything else jumping out at us here. Um, yeah, it might want to have full-on authenticated domain stuff, and that's a whole nother live stream because we're talking going into, in my case, I would use Cloudflare, and that's a whole nother thing. And let me show you here what this would entail. We have to go into our DNS, and we have to um, go into it, and it might not even like this right now because I'm pretty sure I have one set up already on system.io. Save. Let's just see what happens. Domain's been added. That's really, really funny that it's been added. Um, now it's all gray. This is really weird. It shouldn't have, there we go. We should have that. So now what we need to do is from here, you go into your domain settings, and this is all of the stuff that I would need to go and add to um, my DNS settings on Cloudflare in order to get all of the back end email stuff going on. And we've got um, stuff in our channel system.io playlist on doing all this. So we're not going to do it now. Uh, I'm wondering if that would have been enough. I doubt that that would have been enough. Now, the other thing that might be going on here is I'm not seeing a sender here. So it might want an actual sender. The sender's email address is displayed in the email header when sending email address. So let's do this. This could be what we were running into with that. Let's just see what goes on. And then we're going to go and call this, again, Egbert Peabody. And I don't know if there's an actual save button here. Yep, there is. Save. Some fields contain invalid data. Scroll down. If we go in here, you can't use this email address. The domain name of this email address has already been authenticated by another account. If you're the owner of this domain, please authenticate the domain in your account settings. So yeah, so we are running into an issue here where I've used this. More than likely, what's going on here is I've used this somewhere else and it doesn't like it in another system.io account. So let me just see real quick if there's another one that we can use instead that hasn't been used. I don't think I do, but we'll try it. Oh, wonderful. One of the other caveats here, I'm going to show you this. One of the other caveats with Zoho, and I've got to go figure this out. They kick you out, not all the time, but probably once a week. You have to go and re-log into the Zoho account. It's like I'm logged in on my computer. It's an app. I want it to just open up like Outlook opens up. Outlook doesn't ask me to log in every single time I open it up. Granted, Zoho doesn't either, but it's like every week or so it does, and it's annoying. It's annoying, folks. If there's one kind of drag of using Zoho, that's one of the drags. It needs to be a little bit more user friendly. So, um, Zoho, looking for my password to get logged in on that account. Um, so we can try that one. Yeah. Okay. And then password and put the password in. No, I'm not going to worry about that. All right, so let's try this and see what happens. How about that for a nice long email? Click on save. We'll see. Yep, it's also been used. So at this point, I just don't have an email that is open, that's professional and all that, that can be used, unfortunately, that's available. Now, what we could do is switch over, just for the sake of this, to one that is all set up. Let's do that. Let's go and show you at least what this would look like. When we're creating this, though, we have, I'm frustrated right now. I really want this to work. Um, I was really hoping to get this all dialed in with the email and everything, and we could just rock and roll and show exactly what it looks like when someone signs up. Um, but I don't think I've used like emails for everything. So would it let me? I'm pretty sure this has to be at one from our actual, what's the word I'm looking for? Gmail. It's not going to let us use an Yahoo or Gmail account here. I don't think. We're going to move on. Um, Unfortunately, folks, not able to go in here and get this dialed in like I wanted to. But you would go in here and go into your campaign. I can't even create the email. Why this let me create the email here, I don't know. But let's go back over to our chat GPT, and we're going to do this. We're going to just edit the one that we got there. That was already there from previous import. And we'll do something like this. Okay. Save it. And yeah, it's got all kinds of red stuff coming up here. Same thing here. It's doing the same thing. It wants a valid sender email address. And again, because I don't have this particular account set up, dialed in for all that on this test, something to think about so that we don't have as big of a train wreck next time. That would be something to play with. So, or something to get dialed in. Now let's go back to ChatGPT and greetings, Earthling. Let's do something. Let's do this. How about the Badeep? Badeep, Badeep that Tweaky does. I don't know if it'll if it'll include that. And I don't even know if that's the way to spell it. But if you've watched Buck Rogers and seen Tweak, he does this Badeep Badeep Badeep. What's up, Buck? Um, and of course, my impersonation's awful. Um, imagine that in a robot voice. But anyway, so there we've got that. We go back into our campaign, and it wants us to cancel. Let's just save. Whatever. Cancel. It might not even let me. It might not even let me edit this until all this other stuff in the back end's fixed. So I'm gonna pull out the rest of my hair. You know, I'm gonna go and pull out the rest of my hair. And yes, I'm gonna leave. Let's just see what happens. That's interesting that it made different sections for all this. Come on. Backspace. Cool. All right. Now, the other thing that I want to show you while we're in here, save changes. We'll see if it actually lets us save changes because of all the, sorry, your email's not been validated. We don't care if you're doing a live stream or not. We're gonna make you, stressed out and pull the rest of your hair out. You know, I'm thinking, you know, I'm being really facetious right now, but System.io needs a little button here that says, I'm doing a live stream. Make this all work. All right. Next thing that you might want to do when you're doing this stuff, instead of greetings Earthling, you could do um, you can do what they call substitution variables. And a substitution variable is like you can grab their first name, you can grab their last name, you can grab a bunch of other different types of built-in substitution variables to make this a little bit more personalized to whoever signed up. So it will take the first name that they used in the form, and it'll grab that first name and pop it in here. And so right here where it says choose replacement, pretty sure, yep, um, their term for a substitution variable here is choose a replacement. So first name, and it's literally going to say greetings first name. We're going to take Earthling out, and we got to make sure that we have those curly brackets in. That lets it know to grab the first name. Dane and Sean here, co-founders of Zero2Income. We're buzzing with excitement. I don't know if I'd use buzzing or not. I wonder what's another like robot type of thing. Um, anyway, we'll keep it at that just for the sake of this video. For the sake of this live, it's got to be incredibly like boring. Yeah, I don't know about real, but yeah, uh, Pixel Pusher's like, here's Sean getting real. Here's Sean getting to be a real mess. Um, you have your free Zero2Income toolbox. All right. This toolkit is beaming directly to your inbox, packed with all the futuristic resources you need to supercharge your income journey. Now, again, I told you when I was playing with ChatGPT that it's going to have stuff in there. I'm like, I don't know about income journey, but how about this? Supercharge your uh, online business. I think I like that better. Okay, you want to make this stuff your own, folks, and even the again a sure sign that something was done in AI is lots of icons, and that I'm like, I'm not. I don't think I like that. This is cool. Here's what's inside. I like the tool thing there. Go in here and you can bold it. I'm gonna make that bold. I'm pretty sure I can even make this just this bigger. So we can do 24. Yep, cool, right? And strategies. Um, now ChatGPT will sometimes put bullet points in here, and when you paste something from ChatGPT into like I use ChatGPT a lot for YouTube descriptions, and when I go to paste it in there, it'll take bullet points out. So it might have put bullet points in there. Let's take a quick look. It did. See, it took them out. And it even had made this bold, which I didn't catch. So we got some bullet points there. So we go back to our thing and we go, all right, we can do bullet points. And if you're not aware, you have a bullet point is an unordered list. I mean, I'm looking at this going, who wouldn't know that off the bat? Again, my throat is really hurting right now. Um, Order list is when you do 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. So an unordered list is just going to be a bullet point. So all I did was click on UL. All right. Now, as we try and pull this other stuff, again, I kind of like what ChatGPT did. They bolded it. Do the same thing here. I'm gonna put it at my cursor at the end, and I'm gonna hit enter, and it'll automatically add a bullet. Then I'm just gonna hit the backspace, actually delete button, I think, and it'll pull the templates line up, and it did. And once again, I think I want templates to be bold. Gonna do the same thing here. Go to the end of the line, hit enter, hit delete, and bold resources, bold, and I think that's it.